Merry Christmas. I hope that this year so far has treated you with grace. And as we come to the end of 2025, I want to bring you one guest that will at least liven our set. Juliani, karibu sana.
Umesema Merry Christmas ndio toa episode this year.
Lazima itoke. Lazima itoke. Thanks for accepting honoring the invitation.
Umezoea zito, sisi ni umezoea zito hapa.
Najua watu wengi wanashanga connection hapa iko wapi, but we are talking about the business of music. Kila kitu siku hizi ni biashara. You just have to have the mindset. And I think you're one of the people in the music industry that has really brought out that aspect. Tutajua how, but to start with Juliani, watu wengi wanakujua tu kama Juliani. Majina yako yenye iko kwa ID ni gani?
Ya M-Pesa, tunatumia tu M-Pesa. Ni Julius Owino. Julius Owino Ooko. Yes, that's my ID name.
Hiyo ndio ulipewa na mzazi.
Na mzazi, yeah. My father is Ooko. So O-O-K-O.
Ooko. Niliona kuna mahali ulifanya acrobatics.
Ni mbaya.
Ati tunatoa receipts.
I'm bad news.
Tunatoa receipts. So unaweza fanya acrobatics?
No, so when I was starting out music, when I was starting my career in music, I used to do nilikuwa nafanya acrobatics. I used to love the fitness. We used to do hizi masama, unarukia juu ya mtu, unapanda juu ya mtu. So we used to do that sana. And I really like the physicality of it. And then of course when music is ikaanza kushika nikaacha hiyo acrobatics. So nimefanya vitu mob, nilikuwa nauza mayai, nilikuwa nauza kwa mother yangu. I used to help with chapatis and sell at shop. Yeah, but acrobatic, I like the physicality of it. So say now squeezing it different because now I do it's more yoga, more meditation. Zinasaidia na hii economy ya Ruto. I'm sorry to say. Yeah, so zinasaidia sana. No, but and I'm serious about it because the human, as I know we're talking about business and kila kitu, but the best investment you can do is on yourself first. If you can, the way you think strategically, the way you build things, you need to invest in yourself first. And the same principle you apply in investing in yourself is what you're going to do in other things, business, comic, music, career, and whatever. So I saw the importance of investing in myself.
Yeah. You've said it well, because there is something that I've been following as well, is when, especially when you want to make some strategic moves in life, you start with personal investment, you go to professional investment, and then eventually you do financial investment. So PPF is a strategy. So ni muhimu kuona mtu mwenye amealign with, hata before useme mambo ya pesa, umeingia into personal investment, which is very important. How did you get into the music industry?
Music, because I wasn't good at anything else. I was really good at literature. I really loved literature when I was in school. And then my desk mate was a musician from the famous Uko Flani Mau, the pioneers of Kenyan hip-hop, in my opinion. So that then is when now I like the music part, because where I grew up, you have to be part of something. Either when you have to be part of something.
Yes.
So for me, I was really lucky that I was drawn towards music.
Okay.
So music, and specifically hip-hop. Music is different than hip-hop. Hip-hop is where you get to tell your stories consistently through poetry, through rhythm. So that's why hip-hop kwangu ilikuwa particular sana. With the music, mtu anaweza kuandikia ngoma uimbe. But you get to tell, you get to document your stories poetically and with rhythm.
Yeah.
So that's
how
I got
it's an art of storytelling.
Yeah. So I started when I was in high school, and then pursued it even more after high school. Yeah. And nikafanya packages after high school. You guys now work squeezy. I did packages.
Squeezy class kutoka primary.
Packages.
Hizo packages hii.
Nini?
Si unaingia kama ni lesson.
Mtoto wangu sasa anaanza kitu kuliko squeezy hata hiyo, they know these things.
Sasa unapata iko kwa curriculum.
And that's nice. That's nice. So I did that. and went forward now to, of course, pursue music, hip hop specifically. I became famous. Meaning I'm famous.
At what point did you realize you were famous?
Actually, I get a surprise every time based on who's saying hi. Because there's particular people who say hi, like, hey, oh, unanijuaje. Yeah, so there's wasewako. First of all, it always have to be your homeboys, and then inji ya mtaa yako, and then inji ya mtaa, and then Nairobi, and then inchi, and then internationally. So you don't know. Okay, squeezy people is, oh, you're famous based on how you dress, maybe based on your confidence. Because somehow, if you're famous, there's a way you carry yourself.
So you're saying so. Does it mean that your presentation, the presentation that you put up for yourself as well matters, regardless of whether you have the talent or you have the fame? Does
Ukisema presentation na kama umeipackage.
No, like looks zina matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
The way you dress, it doesn't. Not looks necessarily physically, but the way you package yourself, the way you dress and present yourself and present your talent.
What matters more is your energy. And that's why we even started with personal investment.
Okay.
People know that you know. Get people know that ujamana kuna kitu anajua mimi sijui. I need to know what he knows. It's as simple as that. So me, I've done personal investment so much that I'm in rooms and naweza kuwa na tracksuit and I still draw the same interest, the same whatever. But also the confidence that I'm offering something every time kwa table. Being different is my superpower. So, and unfortunately, maybe in the corporate world, always everybody's trying to fit in.
Okay.
Kila mtu anavaa suti, anavaa suti. Mimi nikivaa suti because nakaa poa juu ya suti. It's not because I have to vaa suti, you get? So, the confidence, and I learned this from Bob Colimo, is that I showed up as myself. And that's the most important thing. And not at inaitwaje ile boisterous, or you're trying to show that no, it's just because I've invested so much in myself that even my disadvantages are my advantages in a room. I get. Yeah.
Did you have any misunderstandings about the music industry when you were getting into that space? Na kitu yenye ulikuwa either ni misconception ama ni kitu maybe you thought this was how it is, and then ukaingia ukapata vitu kwa ground.
They're different
sana.
First of all, I felt like if you're famous, you make money. Hakuna kitu lewa. If you're famous, but you can leverage on it. I'm not saying it's how it was presented. So there's levels. There's people know you for your song. So utakam, kijana kuja utuimbie hapa, panda meza utuimbie. There's that. Ama there's just because you know me now, we can talk. So the barriers are, hata KEPSA nikiingia KEPSA, the barriers were lowered just because I'm Juliani. So people treat you differently, they talk to you differently, they get to come to your level, they accept. So, but then mtu new kwa space, they always have to introduce themselves, they have to. So the first ice breaking imekatwa just because I'm. So I knew the difference. I started knowing. I realized the difference because initially it was uimbe kwa stage, lipwe, and you can do as many shows as possible. But I realized that actually you can leverage on the name, you can leverage on the brand, you can leverage on your ideas, you can leverage on opinions, because being a musician means I have millions and millions and millions of fans. So and those people know my music. So there's something I know about them that somebody in corporate will appreciate when they're launching their product and stuff. So people got a lot from me beyond being panda stage. Utuimbie, ututumbuize. It was more, hey, actually you have a thought process, you have a way of looking at life. If you're able to convince these people to come and pay to watch you, there's something you know that I need to learn from. So those are the things I learned from music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, at what point from now umeingia the unasema panda stage entertain, did you realize that you can actually leverage on your name, your music as a brand?
Yeah, when people started asking me for other things beyond panda stage, when they started saying, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? And
inakani kama title ya music ingine panda stage.
Hapana, tuseme kitu ingine hapa please. this is the wrong they need to say that. But so throughout my life, I've met people who affirmed who I am and my thinking. So that's why I mentioned Bob sana. I also mentioned nani best yetu anaitwaje Vimal Shah pia. Vimal Shah sheni invite siku moja akanika kwa boardroom yao kubwa hapa, kaleta kila mtu kwa timu yake hapo, hawanisikize ati nitoe my opinion. And Bob did that. I've done that couple of times. Ananiita nakaa hapo kwa nini naongea na watu. So throughout, people have been affirming that actually what I think matters kidogo, and how I perceive life and perceive business and perceive things. So throughout, yes. But also individually, I felt like there was something missing all through when we were doing music, because always people are not doing contracts, people are not reinvesting in themselves. Ulikuwa ni ukiwa na ngoma moja imehit sasa utakula na hiyo sana. So me, I started investing in doing live band, doing. I saw it differently by reinvesting in myself consistently, unaona. And those things I learned by watching people, not by atimini kwa mjanja kuliko kila mtu, but also by watching people, by doing, and by being affirmed. Hizo ni step tatu. Ndio niseme, at least niseme. So it was watching people, hey, maybe that's interesting. Jay-Z is doing it differently. Let me learn from that. Let me do something. Oh, I feel like I need to do something. Let me do it first and see how people respond. And then the third thing, people saying, actually, hey, man, nilion like tulifanya. So those 3 steps is what helped me at least figure out my path throughout.
Interesting that the 2 people you have mentioned are business leaders.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming they are, if not the top, but part of those people that you've looked up to when you're doing both music and business. What are some of the lessons you've learned from industry leaders when it comes to running your music brand as a business?
That is never that serious. I've learned that it's never that serious. I've learned that from Dhiren Chandaria, I've learned that from Bob, and I've learned that from Vimal. I've learned that from Jay-Z, I've learned that from... It's never that serious. But those 3 steps were, if you invest in yourself first, then you will know what to do. But our story do. The consistent thing out of all these people is that they do, and learn. Do, learn. It's not think and strategize. Do, learn. So, mi ufala yangu yote inakam kwa akili, I always do.
Okay.
And then learn from it, and then take it. Those are the things I've learned.
Saizi, for the artists that are already in the industry, whether they're established or they're getting in, do you find, would you say that they are sometimes forced to be entrepreneurs first before they are musicians, or would being a musician first be better than being an entrepreneur? The reason I'm asking is that we are seeing, we are in a space where we have venye umesema uliingia industry hivi ukifikiria juu uko na fame ita make pesa, and then you enter and you realize I'm not able to pay my bills, or let's say something like that, and then the next step that you quickly need to do is to think, how do I commercialize my music or my brand? And then maybe along the way unapata mtu amekuwa too commercial that you actually give up on the why you entered into the music industry.
I think the first thinking, even business, we actually need to define what business is, though. Because we live in a society of consumerism sana that we forget what business is. So the first thing we have to focus on is creating and building. I think that's the part where artists and even our business people don't come from. Most people are good managers. They don't create and they don't build. So the issue I have with then artists and business, whatever, is that they don't create and they don't build. So creating means that we have to come up with things that either shift or don't shift society, and people will want first. And people want it, you have to figure out how to get it to them first. So you have to create and then see if people respond to it. And people, if once they respond to it, then you figure out how to get it to them. So in the case of an artist, I'll put it on radio. But you have to write it, went to perform watu wako watatu kwa mtaa hapo, some
Wa
like
reaction.
wa reaction, and then this is something that 50 people will like. And then, how do I get to 100 people now? Oh, let me take it to radio, or let me put it on YouTube. So your thinking process is what normally artists don't look in. They only focus on the end product more than the creation and delivering it to the creation. They need to think about the creation, who it attracts, and who they're speaking to, and how to deliver it to them.
The channels.
Yes. So, and then after you deliver to them, the process of delivering is now management, operations, na vitu kai. So that's the part.
Come towards the end of the process.
Yes, but the first part, and I learned that from hii kitu inaitwa something thinking. I forgot the name. Elon Musk talk about it sana. Something thinking. I forgot about it. But it's lean startup. The process of lean startup is that you have to test it, because all everything we do is assumption until somebody is willing to pay for it. You think it becomes a product once somebody is willing to pay for it, but until that time is still an assumption. It's still an idea. So you end up part artist akuwa they only think about the fame, watu wapigia nduru, concerts. They don't think about how to get there. So those are the things that needs to be clear. But understand your role. So if your role is to create, just create. People will come to deliver the rest.
Okay.
So you don't need, I don't think kila mtu ako blessed to think about the whole process. Maybe me, I'm privileged to see it, but an artist's role and everybody else, any entrepreneur's role is to create.
And it happens also in a company or organization setup that the person at the top doesn't necessarily have to be an expert in everything. They need to be the vision bearer, the creative in the case of artists, in this case, and then have teams who are experts in the different things that will now help carry that vision and that creativity.
Yes, and experts come later even. Expert ni once you have established. Hii ni ugali na watu wanataka kula ugali na kuna watu daily unakula ugali. So we expert at figure out logistics, the shortest way to get them in the quickest, shortest, and right time to get kwao. That's when you need experts level 5. You don't need expert initially. You need to just create, and deliver it to a few people. And then people like that wako everywhere else in the world. And then how you deliver to all those.
What was your moment of breakthrough in the industry, and especially seeing, I don't know how you would describe your journey through that process, seeing as today we have people, or not even just today, even then, people who want to mengia leo na unataka imeivana leo. And then there has to be that process that you're saying until you get that moment where you may hit. How was your journey, and what are you seeing different then?
No, I've been famous all my life, bwana. Wewe bwana. Ni wewe ndio uko unanijua.
Acha hizo.
Ni wewe ndio uko unanijua. Oh yeah, but you're right, yeah. But yeah, so that's so using the previous thing I said earlier is the simple fact that you can rap, you can create something and then share it with 2 people and then and then you share it with 5 people and then 10 people and then 100 and then 1,000 and then that's the process. So that's what I'm saying. I've been famous all my life because it started with 2 people.
Yeah, and you became famous among the 2.
Yes, the 2, and then now the 5 and then the 10.
Yeah.
So at every particular moment, I create an assumption. I have an idea about how I think lyrics should be written, because how I write my lyrics, how I name my songs, how I deliver my is totally different from everybody else. How I perform is totally different. Hapo mwezi niambia kitu, by the way. Unaona, because it took 2 people and then 10 people test it, see how my assumptions, what do they think if I write lyrics this way and not this way, and you perform to many people as possible, and then before even record the song. So that's how I knew even right now I get surprised when people know me, because certain people know me because of that's what I'm saying, what I'm just telling you, like the audience that I've been feeding consistently wamekuwa kichange
along the way.
along the way. So now I know, well, they like me this way, let me continue doing that. Or they like me this, or this person, I want this person. Like I don't like doing, unaona zile events za unampanda lori mnaenda kwa street, kwa market, mna perform. I don't like those. I used to do those things, but I don't like, because I know that's not my audience. Watoi kuja hapo, they will not understand the deepness and the complexity of my lyrics. But maybe somebody who's nani or nani. So I know my audience, right?
And you have a way with your lyrics that is structured to communicate a certain message, whether it's an environmental message, whether it's a peace initiative message, whether it's what else?
Documenting my life and what's happening around me, or maybe just having fun and kujichocha. So, but yes, because everything has to be, every word that I put is intentional. It's supposed to whatever certain outcome. I expect a certain outcome. But again, it's an assumption until somebody likes it, until somebody is willing to buy it. So nikitoa ngoma, I don't know. I know who's going to listen to it based on the previous, but I don't know who else is going. But also I can see it and say, I want my CEO sasa wanze kunilike, kama they start giving me business, then I'll shape my music that way. But also I won't lose the essence of who I am and vitu hizo.
So is it safe to say then that there's no certain point that you have compromised your authenticity for the sake of business and for the sake
That's
of
what placed me in the room.
money?
My authenticity and who I am is what places me in the room. The only difference is that the language changes. Because if I'm talking to Vimal, sitamwongelesha Sheng. I have to talk to him na Kizungu. Hata wewe naongea naye difference. No. But my essence remains the same. No. So because music is communication. You either communicate with words or energy. So and you want the other person to understand what you're saying. So that's why you can't just say at sisi ni tunaongeanga Sheng. But also I'm older now than I was. I'm far from where I used to live when I was younger. So I also need to change as an individual.
You have to grow with the changes that you're going through. Yes.
So I have to be aware and conscious about where I am and who I'm talking to and who I'm not talking to and who I want the message to go to and how am I going to do business. But I will never compromise on the art part of it, because we are creating Mona Lisas and stuff like that. Things that will literally shape how people see themselves in the future or even now. Yeah.
Talking about money, would you say there was one instance where you made a particular financial decision that changed everything? That changed the way you look at your brand, that changed the way you look at investment, that changed the way you actually look at yourself?
I think daily, because one of the things we never looked at, because I always felt like I needed to make more money. But the problem is that I realized that I was not looking at what I have and how I'm spending it. So hiyo nilikuwa shida, the costs. Hata kukama hapa nilitumia Uber, so probably ni 1600, nilitumia phone call kuongea. Hizo cost ndogo we never put in consideration. We always think about, I have 1 million shillings. Mini bola.
Kidogo.
But ulifikaji, actually you have 1 million minus. Ngata ulitumia, mafuta ulitumia, the phone call you made, the outfit you had,
every expense that
has to be. So that's the part where, so it wasn't about making the money more. It was about, are you in tune with how you're spending your expenditure? Because even if you make 20,000 shillings, you have to minimize the expenditure. That's business now. The business is about minimizing costs. Ndio get your margin iwe higher kidogo. So that's the part where we were making money, but we were never considering that part.
How does that translate into our income and expenditure as a country, would you say?
Country huwezi ongelea hapo. We are wasteful. As a country, we are wasteful. We are wasteful, but we are so. We did a project flani ya TB, and I realized that actually we are so, as a country, we are so blessed with, like, people are really professional. Like, people are professional. If we want to do things right, we'll. And I was looking at how they were treating TB. TB, actually, the way it was actually working. And there's partially, of course, mostly because of goodwill from the care workers and stuff like that. But the systems are there, and people actually can implement those systems. Just the goodwill, maybe high level, haiko sana. Yeah, but we are wasteful as a country. We don't dream enough as a country. Um, we are our politics is, human beings are political anyway, but our politics is imechafuka kidogo. Aina yeah, politics yetu si safi, ni chafu sana yani. So yeah,
Words zimekukosa.
yani hapo ndio usanii imefika, yani hapo ndio level imefika. No, our politics, we have come a long way though. We have to appreciate where we've come from. Mimi mtoto wa Moi. Nilizaliwa Moi akiwa president, so I know the difference. Wewe uko naenda Onyayo House kupata ID na passport, it took you years. Excuse me, I get in 3 days. So we have to literally you have, so ukienda Huduma Center una get ID. They get, like, we have to appreciate where we've come from, but also we have to understand that that we are wasteful. There's no goodwill politically that high level. At easy kwa hospital, kwa government offices, there's literally goodwill all through. But high level haiko. But we have to separate government and politicians.
Okay.
The government is working, politicians are not.
What is the one thing or situation that you have ever looked at and thought to yourself, if I was given the opportunity, I would do things completely different?
No, just let people work. Where's your tero? Like me, I'm really, I know about finance, I know about writing, I know about creating, I know about brand, but I can't implement those things. I'm not good at, I can only create, but I'm not good at operations, for example. Let other people who are good at those things do them. No. At whatever level, whoever you can afford. So, for example, the president's work is to inspire, is to give us a vision of where we need to go in the next, as a country and as a people, we need to be in the next 10, 20 years.
So, back to financing, from your experience and for speaking to people who are now entering into that space, what pitfall would you advise them to avoid, and yourself, and especially in an age where now you say it's very commercial and it's also very individualistic. Everyone is just thinking about themselves. How do you protect yourself, your brand? Even at the social media level, we have seen yourself and other artists maybe being the center of attention for one thing or another on the media space. How do you protect yourself financially, from a brand perspective?
Yeah, we are. So the reason why even we don't get enough investment for creatives is because we're high risk. First of all, I always predict to get lini. One, kuna hizo makesi mob online. It's something you do small, it turns to something else. But also, I see it as a good feedback in my opinion. So if people are willing, if people are talking about you and wanatumia bundles kukongelea, then there's something there. So I see it as a positive, and how can we leverage on that, and can we use that now to push the brand better or to make business or whatever. So that's a good thing, because sisi ni watu tumelelewa Dandora. Nobody even talked about us tukiwa huko mtaani. When watu wanauliwa ovyo ovyo huko, nobody talked about us, but now they can talk about us. So how can we make the best out of that? Kuna, of course, wasa kuna malice, whatever, you need different, but I'm just saying that's feedback. You can choose to go that direction, can inform your next steps or not, or say, this is the path I want to, I want. Ama you can even say, that's bad feedback because those are not the kind of people I was targeting to now I want to talk to.
Yeah.
So that's good feedback. So hizo vitu zinaendelanga mtandao, whatever. To other people see it as risk. For me, I see it as feedback.
As an artist, is there any partnership or collaboration with another brand that ever refused to sign, even if it looked good on paper?
sipatwa deal poa ile ni refuse. Yani hakuna mtu ashainitaka kitu tu ile kana hii do but ni shetani. Like I have never seen. No, but because I had a community project in Dandora. Though our building was demolished. We refused some money because we were getting funding, and we refused because the theory of change and how I think change comes in that space. I didn't align to what they wanted to do. So tukaambia kaini na pesa yenu tu kidogo. Though we needed the money, but tulikata nayo wakae nayo pesa because I believe there's how I think change comes in a community like that. But our wako so focused na numbers and just ticking whatever. So
not the real impact.
I've refused that. I've refused political money. Though hiyo ningechukua sijui kwa nini nikata hiyo do. I refuse political money. Yeah, but also again, I think of money as validation and feedback. I don't think I talk more from leverage point of view than money. Cash flow is important, whatever, but I build things to leverage. No, because if you build, I can use my name to leverage. Juliani is a name, so I can leverage on that. My performance is something I can leverage on. My face is something I can leverage. Moving a place now because I'm a line, so I leverage on my face. I leverage on my thinking and how I look at life. Wrong or right, I always leverage on that. I leverage on I create businesses, startups to leverage on those. So I think from a point of leveraging more than from money. And cash flow is only a feedback of how people think about your product and what you're offering them. Yeah, and how you manage that ndio sasa cash flow inaingia. Stories revenues, you profits, you expense, hizo zinaingia baadaye. Once you have the pot, then you can figure out how it flows out or how to keep more in. So that's how I look at leverage more than money or hard cash because cash is just evidence of somebody liking what you're offering.
Transactional.
Yeah. So ulipatia msedo because you like the dress. No. Yeah. And then they got the money. And then how walikuwa na njaa wakapatia do mtu mwingine. So it's just evidence of transaction and evidence of connections. It's never a real thing. Money is never a real thing. It's just evidence of people interacting. Okay. And we go deep up on
mindsets bwana.
Philosophy.
Ushaikuwa na tension kutengeneza. I know for you music is very personal, like you've already mentioned. It's storytelling, it's about you, it's about something that you're passionate about, so it's very personal. Have you ever been conflicted between making art that you love, sending that message, communicating that idea, and music that sells? I'm saying that because today it seems like anyone can make music as long as.
But I ain't Mali.
So have you ever been conflicted in that sense?
So for me, music, how I see music is it's a gift. Like it's a privilege even to write, in my opinion, or even to come up an idea. So I have a process in how. So could actually happen in the spiritual world or whatever. You download it, iko brain. Once you download it through your heart, and then you process it through your brain.
You figure out.
And then once you process it through your brain, then you release it to the people. And then, but a piece of art for me is in my opinion, is a privilege. Is an honor, literally, for God kukupatia nikonja, unaget ama like it's why mbona hujaifikiria hivyo mimi exactly. Yeah, so I'm been given that. So I will never compromise on what I've been gifted to give. How you respond to it that's a different conversation. So maybe kuna fala you don't get, like yesterday I did an event in Juliani Jioni, so I had like 100 fans. And they were all singing along. The lines that I wrote in the darkness meant something to them. So those are the people I want in the room. I don't want to jama akogo yanashindo hizi ni gani. I don't want those people. I want people who the music means something to them. The words and the melody means something to them. It changes in the life. So my work is to create. And then based on who respond to it, then I can build business around that. So if I see mtu akona do and I respond to it and they're willing to pay for it, like for example, the first amount of money I was paid was 3,000 shillings. And I was going for the event for free, but just something, hey bro, hatuna do, but chukua tu 3K. Hey bro, And that's the turning point of me realizing that I can make money from this. Because initially I was just performing because I loved sharing my art with people. And so I feel art is a privilege. And how people respond to it is what now, that's a different conversation altogether.
So what's the biggest hard truth that you would say in the music industry?
For others ama for me?
For you and for others as well. Like ile tu yenye ndio ukweli. Pende mspende.
Ukweli ni I'm a master of my craft, and people don't like being masters. It takes time, it takes hardship, it takes thinking, it takes strategizing, it takes recalibrating. Hizo kaa kuna word kaa hiyo. It takes back and forth. Becoming a master. I'm a master of my craft. If you tell me to talk about this chair, I'll talk about this chair poetically with rhythm. I'm a master of my craft. I can manipulate words to evoke emotion. That's what people don't want to go through. Artists don't want to go through. I'm a skilled professional. But it took time, took effort. Every day I used to write music. Even right now, I write a verse a day because I'm a professional. So I write a verse a day. And the more time I spend on it, the better I become. Before my concert, Jana, I spend daily, I'm performing my lyrics over and over and over until I get it right. I'm a professional. That's the part artists wanna feel when the bank inspiration come. No. You want me to write about this chair, I'll write about this chair.
But you would take your time.
Because I'm a skilled professional. No, even right now I can write. My Utawala, for example, I wrote in 30 minutes.
Oh.
You get? Because I'm a professional. Yeah, baby. I have 4 albums, I have 3 EPs. Each one of my songs, I can literally stand kifua hapa niwaambia, I created this product. Utaipata. And when people love my music because I created it and they love it genuinely, they're willing to pay to come and watch me play. I never coerced somebody to love my music. I never paid, even my own songs that I wrote. Tijai pay and get airplay. I've never paid somebody to like my music, to be played on radio. No business person can claim that. Okay. Business people can claim that. No politician can claim that.
It's a truth that most of us don't like hearing.
It's a
truth that most of us don't like hearing.
The same way we can communicate about ourselves and our world, we can also communicate about brands. We can also communicate about what's happening around us. And that's the part other people don't see. Lawyers don't see. My engineer don't see. There's a guy who wrote, nikimazia story ya kujisifu. There's a guy, the VC of USIU sahi, Mtarangwi. He wrote a book on my lyrics the pulpit, the street is my pulpit. And the way he captured how I wrote lyrics, I was like, man, me si mchache. So we are professionals, and that's the part artists don't get, and these other people don't get. Yes, si tunakatunu watu, we wait for inspiration.
Sawa.
Yeah.
Hope your message imefika.
Hata wasipoge shauri yao, it doesn't change the fact.
Apart from music, have you invested in businesses or in startups? And
I believe the same way I build songs, I build solutions. Yes.
Talk to us about.
I can create songs, lyrics, and I can create solutions. So I have startups. We have a few startups that we've been testing. And let me just say this so normally we Kenya tukianzisha biashara, the biggest mistake I did earlier is that nikiwa na idea biashara, I go and register it. But you don't even know what product you're selling, who you're selling it to, but you know ufala. So because now, whatever it is. So we rather go the startup way, where you have an idea which we think is an assumption. Will people like red dresses? And you go all out and test that theory. The first session, will people like red dresses? The second, will people buy red dresses? How many people buy red dresses? So that's how, the same way I write songs is the same way I write about, we do startups. So we have Taka Bank on circular economy. We have Sense, e-commerce. We have Jonte, plumbing, furniture, and repair. plumbing, furniture, and electronics repair. So you subscribe for a year, and you do all your plumbing and everything for free. Labor cost low, no labor cost unless you're buying new parts.
Okay.
Kama wewe unafaa kwa customer by the way.
Ebu sasa ndio tuelewe to subscribe. Would you mind going a little deeper into each one of
Taka Bank is so the issue with waste right now. We have, I don't know, like last I checked was 3,000 wastes in a produce in Nairobi specifically
Tons.
daily, tons every day. The problem with that is that takataka yako unaenda unaweka pali pamoja, unaenda unagoja once a week inachukuliwa na ikichukuliwa inatupwa Dandora. Whatever they can scavenge, it's scavenge and then it ends up Dandora. Now the problem with that is that waste is a resource. So kama it can be reused, it can be repurposed. Your food, it can be repurposed to something else. The plastic can be repurposed to something else. So the recyclers, when they get the whatever scavenge, it's dirty, they spend more money cleaning it, prepping it before they becomes what they want to take it for. So for us is that we incentivize you as a person to separate your waste, and we collect data around the waste. So we know where the waste was from, we know which the brand it is, so we can share that with manufacturers. We can take the waste exactly where it needs to be, so there's less wastage.
Okay.
So the people, we can create value from the waste.
Okay. What inspired this business idea?
In Grab Dandora.
Yeah. Naona bana ifai.
Yeah, and I did Kenya Association Manufacturers, and I did KEPSA. We done because we're testing the ideas. So we're not saying that it's a fully whatever solution, but we test all the assumptions. So initially we started with the cement. So you get your phone and then you take the barcode and then ikakwa too much and then now it's that. So yeah, so that's Taka Bank. Since there's a lot of small watu wana create products wakulima wadogo. So how do they get their market, their product market? Yeah. So if it's a business is Kenya and it's sustainable and it's Kenyan sustainable and it's creative or stylish, we put on our platform.
What does stylish mean?
Yes. It's just unique. Okay. It's not ukituna kila pahali.
Okay.
So there's a bag we did. Yeah, I can start in there. Yeah. So it's had to be just different. What people will like anyway. So utapata kila mtu. Yeah. So and now Jonte is you subscribe 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, and we come to your house. We fix anything you want with no labor cost, unless you're buying a different part.
Okay. Yeah. So with an annual subscription, right?
Annual subscription, and the last one is my Msanii.
Okay. We
invest in artists because the biggest risk we have right now, we are risky as artists, so people don't want to give us money. So we want to invest in artists, build a whole industry around the creative space. Yeah, so isn't it to make one experiment for the last couple of years.
Okay. All right. We wish you the best and for the support that we can give, like subscriptions. Definitely will. Nitasign. But looking at the next period for you, business-wise, music-wise, family-wise, what are you into?
Nataka kuwa billionaire ndio nipatie watu pesa. I want to have a lot of leverage. I'm creating a lot of leverage through business, through my craft, through my name. So leveraging on those to utilize it for something. Like I told you earlier before, or when you were offline, let's create chaos so that you can use that energy for good. Yeah, so let's poke. Star waters to catch fish. It's like the whatever laws of power. Star the water. So my work is to star. So that's what I'm going to do with resources, with leveraging my name and everything else. What I'm trying to do also is not speak. I want to have a plan. I feel like good people who claim they're good or have good intentions never have a plan. I feel like I need to have a plan individually for myself, for my country, and then share it, and then and just share it with as many people as possible.
Uko na plan ya kuingia politics?
Nah. I mean, life every day in politics. I'm just saying that we have a role. Let our existence mean something.
True.
Yeah, you can go and make money and be the best artist ever in the world.
And we shall remember your name for it.
Utakufa tu, but let
there be an impact.
Let our name and everything we built mean something.
True.
Even if it doesn't help us, let it mean something for other people. Like, I feel like that's the best way of living life. Otherwise, we don't need much to live. I eat 1 meal a day. I don't do Juliani. I don't need much to be happy. So anything I do extra, let it mean something for other people beyond my kids. My kids watakuwa tu sawa. Unaona. So that's the only thing I want to do in the next coming years. Mungu akinipatia uhai.
And for your kids, what legacy do you leave?
No, ako tu sawa. There's no legacy. So one of the things we as human beings, we feel we are so important though. Si ni bure sana. But our kids, they my son specifically, they don't, they care about, they learn more from what you do than what you say and whatever. So like my son, so me, I like when I work out, my son is always there. So my son squeezy, and my wife was telling me, walikuwa you happy, and then my son is like, I'm strong like daddy. And then he finds things that he sees me do. So my sons they'll be good. And church yetu kitambo nilikuwa Nairobi Lighthouse, they used to say the vision is caught, it's not taught. So you do you, what are the sort?
Hizo zingine zita.
Nikaa venye binadamu Wakenya wanapenda tabia sana. When they go and build big houses huko juu Ocha whatever, ama whatever, hata Karen hapo, and then hey, this is for my kids when they'll have a place no, mtoto wako pia anapenda kulala juu wapi huko, utakaa hapo na utakuwa nasikia mayako kwa nyumba yako huko. They won't even care for what you care about. What you think you care about, they will never care about. So they'll be good.
Okay, all right. You earlier mentioned when we started that you're an emotional human being, like you're in touch with your emotions.
I'm not emotional, but I'm in touch.
In touch with your emotions. How important is that? And especially for the way you said, hata wanaume tusiongea. Tunafungua roho. And how important is this and especially in the industry where there's so much pressure, so much expectations, but then there's that kind of bottling up all of it and not, coming up.
So sijui nita-explain aje. So there's a series I was doing on IG inaitwa Manufacture Your Own Miracle. Okay, sijui nimeanzaje hapo. Anyway, but emotions zetu, our emotions, our thoughts, they're all suggestions. They're not facts. They're not truth. They're just suggestions. Just a response to what's happening outside or inside. So you have to see it for that. You don't see it for nakuhate. I'm hate, nakuhate. No, it's umefanya kitu that I felt uncomfortable with, and then the emotion came out of it. So it's just it's data. Thoughts and emotions are data of your interaction at this particular moment, and your body is consistently giving you data and information about what's happening right now. So if I sit with you and I feel relaxed, that's data. If I feel talk to me, I feel whatever jittery, that's data. So, but I don't treat it as fact. So unfortunately, with everybody, they treat everything as facts. So they treat their emotion as facts, their thoughts as facts, and whatever they feel in their bodies as facts. So what I do is, personally, like I'm intuitive dog. So I do my meditation, I do my yoga, I do my exercise, I do my prayer, but I do that specifically to be aware of my tool. Kama ukiwa wewe jembe, you have to be a farmer. You have to be really good with your jembes,
Yes.
Yeah, so you have to know your tool. So this body is a tool, so I have to know it. So when I do exercise, I do my yoga, I do it's to know my jembe. So, but people see it as, I want to know my tool, the way I write. If I perform, the way I
shika your mic.
you know, these are professional because of I've done this many years. I know when sound is bad, when sound is right. I know my craft. So that's the same thing. I know my emotions. I know my thoughts. When I see my thoughts move, I observe. I'm a witness of my life. So when a thought comes, I see, hiyo ni ufala inaenda, hiyo ni ufala ji. Kuna ufala ingine nasema wacha tu nienjoy hiyo ufala. Unaona? But at least unajua ni ufala.
Achukua popcorns.
Yeah, at least unaenjoy ni ufala. Yeah. So that's what I think about. So most human beings see everything as facts and not suggestions. Yes, and that's the difference between me. And I have to, but it's not that different between me and everybody else. What I think is that I sit with my tool longer, kidogo. I sit with my problems longer, so I know how to use them. I know how to use the djembe. I know how to use So that's what human beings, I think, should do.
And you said being able to feel your emotions is a privilege.
Yes, it's a privilege. So when it comes, it's to get a reaction even. What it feels to not have feelings.
I don't know. I've never not had feelings.
Exactly. Hauna feelings. The best human experience. That's why I was coming to you. Manufacture your miracle. Like I feel like everything is a miracle. Like even to see you is a miracle. No, to be here is a miracle. No, like that's the most amazing. Like I'm having a human experience. So I don't label things. I see them for what it is. Feeling hate is a feeling. Hate is a good feeling. Because you get to feel for someone.
What you do with that feeling is what makes a difference.
And I learned this from wrestling, WWE. So apparently, when they're looking for acts, because I'm an actor.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So if a wrestler can't evoke a feeling, hate or love, they always have to find characters to evoke both emotions. You have to get, and the more you're hated, the more people come to see you. And the more you're loved. Actually, hate is way more powerful than love, actually, by the way, if you think about it.
Yeah.
You have to have a villain. So you have to see green for you to acknowledge red. You know?
Yeah.
That's how beautiful life is. So every day is an
adventure and a miracle.
So that's how I look at life. So everything is a suggestion. There's no facts. Ukinichukia hiyo ni a suggestion. Hagiana kesho. Suggestion. That's why I don't get it when politicians kill people. You just had an emotional experience. So sit with it. Allow it to
sink.
To sink. The same way you feel love. Allow it to sink. Then it means if you're not going to acknowledge hate, then you're not going to acknowledge love. Yeah.
Manze, I've never had a guest who has challenged my thought process the way Juliani has. Juliani. Sikuwa najua hii conversation
ulikuwa nadhani nitaongea kuhusu facts and mimi I'm sorry to disappoint you, man.
No, I'm not disappointed. I'm actually impressed.
Oh yeah.
I'm very impressed and I want to say thank you. Thank you for again honoring the invitation. Thank you for speaking hard truths. Thank you for challenging us. Thank you. And we look forward to seeing the next big hits coming from you and to the message that
all my hits are big. All my songs are big. You're the one not acknowledging that they are good. I have many songs that are really...
I've said
no, wewe unagoja icheze kwa TV ndio other people to share so for it to be big. No,
the next hits because the ones that we already have are hits. Yeah, so the next hits hakuna yenye
ni wewe ndio ujui umekataa. You want people to
yeah. It's been a pleasure. It's been exciting. I hope you have enjoyed this conversation. Until next one, ciao.